Hello, my name is Leo, and welcome to another reading of the Elder Scrolls. Today we'll be reading A Brief History of the Empire, Part 1 by Stroek Kijgi III, Imperial Historian. This is going to be the second time I've read this. First time I didn't record. Hopefully my mic doesn't sound too terrible. I'm actually recording this in a car because I don't have time to record it at home. So, here we go. God. And because there's so much sun outside, I can barely see my computer. But, I'm gonna suck it up. And there's so much word wrapping in this book too. So that's gotta be annoying. Anyway, let's go. Before the day of Tiber Septim, all Tamriel was chaos. The poet Tranixus called that era the days and nights of blood and venom. The kings were a petty lot of grasping tyrants who fought Tiber's attempts to bring order to the land. But they were as disorganized as they were desolate, and the strong hand of Septim brought peace forcibly to Tamriel. The year was Second Era, 896. The following year, the Emperor declared the beginning of a new era. So, we began the Third Era, Year Ort. For 38 years, the Emperor Tiber reigned, a just, pious, and glorious age, when justice was known to one and all, from serf to king. It reigned for a fortnight after, as if the land of Tamriel itself was weeping. The emperor's eldest living son, Pelagius, came to the throne. Though his reign was short, he was as strong and resolute as his father had been. And we could have enjoyed a continuation of the Golden Age. Alas, an unknown enemy of the Septims had hired the cursed organization of cutthroats, the Dark Brotherhood, to kill the Emperor Pelagius I as he knelt at prayer at the Temple of the One in the imperial city. Pelagius I's reign lasted less than 3 years. Pelagius had no living children, so the crown of the empire passed to his first cousin, the daughter of Tiber's brother, Agnorith. So did Kintara, former queen of Silvnar, assume the throne. Kintara I was blessed with a time of prosperity and good harvests, and was an avid patroness of art, music, and dance. Kintara's son was crowned after her death, the first emperor of Tamriel to use the imperial name Uriel. I've lost my place. The Emperor Uriel I was the great lawmaker of the Septim dynasty, and a promoter of independent organizations and guilds. Under his kind hand, the Finers Guild and Mages Guild increased in prominence throughout Tamriel. God, look at all the word wrapping on this page. Jesus, hang on. His son, Uriel II, reigned for 18 years, from the death of Uriel I in 3rd Era 64 to 3rd Era 82. Tragically, the rule of Uriel II was cursed with blights, plagues, and insurrections. His tender-heartedness inherited from his father did not serve Tamriel well, and little justice was done. Pelagius II inherited not only the throne from his father, but the debt from the poor financial and judicial management. Pelagius dismissed all of the old elder council, and allowed only those willing to pay great sums in return. Only those willing to pay great sums to return. He encouraged similar acts of his vassals, the kings of Tamriel, and by the end of his 17-year reign, Tamriel had returned to prosperity. His critics, however, have suggested that any advisor of wisdom, but without gold, had been forcibly ousted. This may have led to some of the trouble his son Antiochus faced when he became emperor. Antiochus was certainly one of the most flamboyant of the usually austere Septim family. Can't read the screen. He had many mistresses and nearly as many wives, and was renowned for his grandness of dress and good humor. Unfortunately, his reign was rife with civil wars, surpassing even that of his grandfather Uriel II. The War of the Isle in Third Era 110, 12 years after Antiochus assumed the throne, nearly took the province of Somerset Isle away from Tamriel. The united allegiance of the kings of Somerset and Antiochus only managed to defeat King Orgnium, that name sounds familiar, of the island kingdom of Pandonia due to a freak storm. Legend credits the Sigic Order of the Isle of Atrium with the magic behind the storm. Okay, some of those names sound familiar, but I don't know where they're from. Anyway, where are we? No, keep going. The story of Kintara II, heiress of her father's throne, is certainly one of the saddest tales in modern history. Her first cousin, Uriel, son of Queen Portena of Solitude, accused Kintara of being a bastard, alluding to the famous decadence of the imperial city during her father's reign. Where are we now? Keep going. Is there any more word wrapping? Yes, there is. I'm basically just looking at my smartphone now, because if I'm trying to read it on the computer screen, apart from the fact that there's sun shining in from my car and I can't read it, but there's so much word wrapping that I have to keep looking at the freaking smartphone anyway. Where were we? The first attack, there are 3 attacks, right? Yes. No, you skipped the part. Did I? Alluding to the famous decadence of the imperial city during her father's reign. When this accusation failed to stop her coronation, Uriel brought the support of several disgruntled kings of High Rock, Skyrim, and Morrowind, and, with Queen Parenta's assistance, coordinated 3 attacks on the Septim Empire. The first attack occurred in the Iliac Bay that separates High Rock and Hammerfell. Kintara's entourage was destroyed, and the Empress was taken captive. For 2 years, Kintara II languished in an imperial prison believed to be somewhere in Glenpoint or Glenmore Ward before she was slain in her cell. The second attack was on a series of imperial garrisons along the coastal Morrowind Islands. The Empress's consort, Kontin Anyx, died defending the forts. The third attack was a siege of the imperial city itself, occurring after the Elder Council had divided the army to attack western High Rock and eastern Morrowind. The much weakened government had little defense against Uriel's attack, and surrendered after only a fortnight of resistance. Uriel took the throne that night and proclaimed himself Uriel III, Emperor of Tamriel. The year was Third Era 121. Thus begins the War of the Red Diamond, described in Volume 2 of this series, which we'll read tomorrow. So yeah, tune in tomorrow for Volume 2. So we are currently on our way from Sentinel to Wayrest. It should take us about 4 days, so that should give us enough time to read all 4 books in this series. A Brief History of the Empire by, what's the asshole's name? Stranek Koj III, Imperial Historian. So for now, my name is Leo, and I will see you next time.